Let it take airtime, so that people see it and know that, oh, there's reward for imbibing core values. There's reward for sticking to these core values as entrenched in our constitution.
So yes, it helps us know the right things to do, and it helps us know that there are benefits or there are rewards to doing the right thing. In literature, we have the Nobel Prize for literature.
Nobel Laureate.
It just shows that over the years you have made significant contributions in that field. Now you don't owe anybody, nobody owes you a reward, because already those things that you put out there, those materials you put out there, you sell them. Those books and all of that, you sell them, you gain influence from them. But I mean, that prize just helps to encourage the people coming after you. Now there's a price for this. If I want to be listed as I want to be given the Nobel Prize for literature, I have to walk extra mile. Or if I want to be given class captain, something as a class captain in class, is for people who behave themselves. So
and are always answering questions
in class. They, if you see your class captain, they should represent some level of excellence and decorum. You cannot see your class captain fighting. You don't see your class captain shouting, yelling at people. They just are people who have found a way to coordinate themselves in the right manner. So these reward systems are very important. Now, for patriotism, right? Reward systems for patriotism might not just be exactly how we want it to be. If you are patriotic to Nigeria, if you love Nigeria, Nigeria will reward you. Now we know that there are direct and indirect reward systems, right? So if I am patriotic to my nation, I now become an ambassador to that nation. Something happened last week. We talked about a lady who traveled all the way from London to Lagos. And now this lady, what she did was basically showcasing Africa. The crafts, the arts, the foods, the culture, the way of life of these people. She journeyed from that point into Nigeria, and she made the whole world, especially people who were following that journey, she made them realize the beauty in the African culture. When she came to Nigeria, we all saw what happened. She was giving what do you call it?
She was given a job. Also appreciated. She was rewarded.
Something about tourism.
Yes, for Lagos, she was rewarded
for Lagos.
Brand,
I think a tourist ambassador.
Yes.
So sometimes it's all about you going extra mile to do something extraordinary.
And I really like
get that value.
And I really like that you mentioned that you said reward systems. You pluralized it, and what that mainly kicks in my mind is that. Beyond the monetary value, there's also that self-actualization you get in doing the right thing.
And that fulfillment.
Take for example this practical example you gave of the lady who drove from Lagos, from London down to Lagos. She has learned discipline. She has learned persistence. She has learned consistency. And these are values that no one else will teach you. You pick it from undertaking such tasks, and you are better off for it. So the monetary rewards, the recognition, they are add-ons. What really counts, I believe, for her in that journey is the values she has picked on that journey.
That's it. And then we see a lot of people say, what example do I give now?
The thing is, a lot of people, right, Martha might feel like destinies are not the same. So there are some persons that might do that and won't get that recognition as compared to this lady. There was a man also that was on bike from, I think, was it from US or so to Nigeria too? There was a man like that a few months back. Nobody heard anything about him. I don't know if he's still on his way and all of that. So it's just as good as we've had a lot of cases in the back where people will say, I'm trekking from Abuja to Lagos, for instance.
Okay, let me cut you there now.
Someone.
What is the motive?
Okay.
You know when they say the end justifies the means, or how do you say that? What is the motive?
Okay.
Why are you doing that? I can decide to stay hungry. I say the girl who didn't eat for 40 days and 40 nights. But what do I hope to achieve?
At the end of it. Okay, that's true.
Say for some people will say, I want to stay hungry for 30 days. I want to break that record. But why am I breaking that record? So people are not strategic with their thinking. That's why their results end up being different. You know, so there's someone else who might say, I'm staying hungry for 30 days and I'm partnering with other scientists and medical professionals to be able to examine the effect of food or the benefit of not eating to the human body. It's a full-blown research. It's a full-blown research, and trust me when I say people will drop their last penny to be part of such a research. You know, but if I say I will stay hungry just to show you that I will not die, if you die or you don't die, it's only people that are very close to you that it will affect that much,
because the right things have not been put in place to ensure that that's
goal. So the person who is traveling on bike, do you just want to show us that it is possible? Well, we have seen it with somebody else. What else do you have to offer?
I understand.
You know, a clear discrepancy between this lady we just gave and the example I was giving is that the intention is clear.
Yeah.
For her, it was, I want to showcase the beauty of the African people.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel I did not know her personally, but I feel at the very core of her being, you know, for that action, for that cause, for that adventure would be the intention was not, oh, I'm going to get monetary rewards.
Yeah.
It was that I'm going to undertake this to show the African people in the true light, to change the narrative of the African people. Not that I'm expecting that, Governor Shonwolu at the end of my adventure will give me. I'm sure she didn't even
imagine that. She didn't imagine
then looking at her and her expression.
And I feel that the universe, that God rewards people who have pure intentions.
It's motive.
Who have pure intentions.
You see someone doing exactly what another person is doing, but they don't get the same result someone else.
And the same thing applies to this cover. You cannot go out saying, oh, everybody see me, I obey traffic rules today, you know, and as such I should be rewarded. Bro.
Be real.
Be real. You know, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Anyways, and it's the same thing with discipline. Now, for discipline, someone comes, meets you at your desk all the time. Let's say you are employed now. You never come to work late. Even if you do, you have very tangible reason to come to work late. That. You know, you are always where you are meant to be. You are doing your job rightly. You are interacting with people rightly, respectful. You know, just a very coordinated person. Now you're a disciplined person, so to say. A disciplined person is someone who follows the rules, you know, who keeps to rules, obeys regulations, and all of that has been set up for them. Now, at the end of that, somebody might see you. You not say, at the end of the month, my Oga is telling me every time that I'm disciplined and he did not give me bonus. It mustn't come in form, because we have now conditioned our mind to think that rewards must come in the form of material things. This is where we get it wrong all the time. So when we don't see those material things, we give up on doing the right thing and we give up on keeping these values. But also, someone who happens to be be disciplined at their workplace, tomorrow they get a recommendation or a reference letter that helps them get even a bigger position wherever they are going to. That might not necessarily translate to money, physical cash or material rewards, but it also did translate to something. Number one, you have built your reputation. Number two, you have landed a bigger job, which also is a reward. So most times when we try to shove everything aside and say the reward has to come in the form of money or fame or material things, it must come in that form, we will not put our hearts to it, because some part of us have been dedicated to thinking about the reward. The other part of us is just here trying to struggle to keep up with these things so that we can be considered disciplined. I don't know people who do not do the wrong thing, but you know that they are not right. You see them when they are supposed to be somewhere, they're there. But when you look at them, you can just tell that this person is just doing this thing.
High service.
This person is just doing this thing. This is not how this person is, you know. And the person expects to get the reward, or someone who is living that as their daily life or their personal life. And so today's conversation is basically to encourage us in our different sectors, in our different parastatals,
wherever we
find ourselves. If you happen to be leading, you know, just try to imbibe reward in your structural system. For the sake of it. Because it helps people, it builds the confidence that the people have in you as the head of that organization or the head of that team. It also gives credence to their work. You know that there are people who, when they do something right, They don't need your money. What they need to know is whether or not that is appreciable to the person that they're doing it for. So if I'm doing this now, I need to know if I'm doing it rightly. I need to know if I'm doing my job in a satisfactory manner. So there should be some level of reward, some system of reward set aside. See, at the end of the year, there are companies that, give an extra bonus. Yes. Some people get one extra salary. So in December, at the end of that month, you'll be collecting twice your salary. The organizations who do that, maybe they are big enough to be able to afford something like that. But the organizations who cannot afford that, what they do is just give you maybe 10-20% of what you would earn on a normal day. Some people even go as far as giving you rice and groundnut oil and all of those things that you receive at the end of the year, just to show you that your contributions here are appreciated and your general conduct is valued.
So this is to the man behind the steering wheel. This is to the trader and the marketplace. Keep those values, imbibe them for those values, for yourself. These values in themselves, if you strictly live by them, and you imbibe them, you inculcate them, you live a good life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
In all sincerity, like that's even enough. That's a reward, a worthy reward in itself. Living a good life. And of course, when you live like this consistently, 24/7, 7 days in a week, 31 or 30 days in a month, 365 days in a year. You do this consistently. You're not looking out for someone who would, reward you. But I can assure you, you're just going about it. I can assure you that people are taking notice of it. You become in your community. You become known for. This person comes late. If we say the meeting starts 9 a.m., this person will be there by 8.
The person will come late.
8:45. So you want to be known for that kind of person. You want to be known as that kind of person who comes early. And if you do that consistently,
the day you come late, they will now be like something is wrong.
And you really would have credence with people. You would expect that. Oh yeah, and what that helps is that where names are being mentioned, for opportunities, and one major requirement is, this person has to be punctual. You've already created something in the minds of people that punctuality. This person is punctual. And of course, when everyone sees that, this person is a punctual person, whenever there's an opportunity for someone who is punctual, your name comes to people's mind immediately. And that's what we're trying to do here. That's what we're trying to say here. That, keep these values, not just for the rewards that will come. Of course, they would come, but keep it just so you can be a better person.
Martha, did you remember the lady that works in a hotel that picked a guest's money one time? And the news went across all social media handles, and our artist Davido said, "Somebody look for this woman for me." Do you remember that, Yoruba lady?
I don't think I remember that story, but there've been series of these events
and
here.
Davido actually gave her a huge amount of money, and she, as I speak to you now, she and her family are doing well out of Nigeria. So what I'm trying to say is, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, just do the right thing. Irrespective of, you cannot say it as per se, okay, I'm expecting something to come from it. Just do the right thing.
And do you know the thing about this lady now? I don't think that would be her first rodeo. That would be her first time of doing the right thing in that
I'm
situation.
telling you, and she just did it.
Because and these things, it's not rocket science. If you do something consistently, the chances that you would make the right decision when it matters is high, because you've been doing it consistently over the years. Now for her, I'm very sure that's not her first time.
And that's how integrity is built.
That's how it is.
That's how integrity
She didn't
is built.
expect
That's how it's built.
She didn't see that
consistently doing something over.
That's how it's built.
And again. But anyways, guys, we're still here in the studio. We're talking national ethics and core values. It's Martha right here, Holy Ray seated, and the Tomiwa Ajiboye in the studio. Give us a very short time. We'll be right back talking about the national core values yet again, and I hope we're trying our best as much as possible to be a part of the conversation. Keep it locked in.
Who's ready for a reunion? Just so much you need me. Every song is just so catchy. Just makes you feel good.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
The national core values segment of the midday extra show on Eagles 102.3, a radio experience You can count on Martha and Holy Ray are still on this, and of course with our guest in the studio.
Right, guys, we have about 13 minutes. We ought to have as many times as possible. And so, yes, in families as well, before we go to families, we're talking about the reward systems for the national ethics and the core values. Yeah. Now, there are benefits of imbibing it. Yeah. There are benefits which we talk about every single week here, but there also should be rewards for people who keep this national ethics and core values as well. Now, in families also, this is an effective system that you should set in place. In families, you should learn to teach your children the need to imbibe this in practical, like in word and in deed. Let me not say word and in deed. So if you're asking them to do this, they need to know the benefit. And these days, children are very inquisitive. Absolutely. They want to know why you are asking them to do
what they have to do. Yeah.
So show them the reward, show them the benefit, but also show them the consequence of not keeping it. If, for instance, they find themselves on the wrong side of the line or the wrong side of the story, also teach them the consequence of their action. This is not because you don't love them as your children, and this is not because you just want to punish them. I don't think there's anybody that would just want to punish their words or punish their children for nothing. It's because you want them to grow up
and be better persons too.
And you know, the thing about these core values is it helps you build up a superior mindset. It's not just about whether my country recognizes it or not. Whether Nigeria recognizes it or not. If I am disciplined, I can fit anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
If I'm a person of integrity, I would not have problems dealing with people within my country and outside my country. People like people who stick to their words, who keep to their words. So it helps you build character, and it helps you build a persona that can be trusted. Patriotism as well. If you're a patriotic Nigerian, the reward might not be, like I said, direct. The reward might not be direct. The reward might not be immediate, as you would expect it to be. But you see, if you are a patriotic Nigerian, what can happen to you is wherever you go, anywhere in the world, you are a representation of who a true Nigerian should be. And that is fame. And in this time and age, fame translates to money. So either ways, you always will have a reward for being, an upright citizen. You're found doing the right thing. Now also for dignity of labor. It's just the example I used about a staff who is always doing their job diligently, coming to work when they ought to. You see, the reward might not be in form of bonuses or rewards. Some offices also go as far as giving you fully paid trip for your leave and all of that. That's organizations that have grown up to the point where they can afford to do that. But again, if you decide to live here, would I be able to recommend you somewhere else to say, you know what, I've worked with this person, they have great work ethics, which means that you can commit them with a responsibility and they will do it efficiently. So that's also a reward. Because number one, they say a good name is better than wealth. Number one, your name is built, your character is perceived as solid. Because personally, I will not recommend someone that will put a dent on my name. That's just like a personal thing. If I recommend you to somebody, and tomorrow the person comes back and says, this person you recommended to me, the person stole my money, I don't think I'll be able to recover. I don't think I'll be able to recover from that, because you see what you have done to my name now by just associating with you. You have put a dent on my name.
On your name.
But if it's the other way around, thank you so much for connecting me with this person, makes the job super easy, meets the deadline and all of that, that's a reward for myself, and it's a reward for you too as a person. Because tomorrow, if you want to, I heard yesterday of a certain employer who said none of his staff was going to leave his organization to go and work for another organization that is like a competition to them. It's just like a media or homeowner now says, none of my staff will leave here and go and work with my competition. They would rather start up their own business. So you see, for people who work within that line, there are people, they will produce a certain level of people that you cannot find just everywhere. So now, if you want to excel in that job, the only way you can do it is to be diligent with what you do. And the reward becomes a startup of your own business. So if eventually you say you want to live here, They take good care of you enough, so much so that when you are leaving, you start up your own. That's a reward. A reward can come in different forms. Now, reward can also come in the form of relationships. I want to reward you. I connect you with somebody that I know who can be of help to you. Now I have a lasting relationship with that person, so much so that I'm very confident that whenever I reach out to them, they'll be able to help me. That's a reward. The person didn't give me money, but the person gave me a relationship that can translate to money eventually. So if we are bent on receiving rewards now, remember, you don't demand rewards. Some rewards, let me know, just put it like that. You don't demand some rewards. You cannot say
like it's an entitlement.
Because I did this, I must get this.
Must get a reward.
But like Tomiwa said, keep doing what you're doing. People are out there, they see things, they hear things, they watch you, and your reward can come from anywhere, from anybody. It doesn't have to be a particular channel. Even if your boss does not decide to reward you sometime, your boss might have a friend who comes to the office one time and says, I like this person. Anytime I'm here, the person is always very diligent with their job. Take this, do that. We've had receptionists cash out much more than the people that even work in organizations. They cash out a lot, so much that you would want to be at the front desk.
I tell you, adding to what you're saying, Brad, is when me and you spoke about